Hey guys, in this video we will be discussing about what are the function in C++. In the last video we have discussed what are the local and the global variables, and I will make a new file here and name it at 9.cpp. Now I will write the basic code boilerplate which I have created with user snippet. Now what are the function in the programming? A function is a block of organized code that is used to perform single task. It means, what are the single tasks? Task can be of any type like addition task, and subtraction is also a task, multiplication, division, finding average, finding percentage. These are the tasks. So you can also do the task in the main function, but another type of function which you create outside the main function is used to do the specific task. In the main function, whatever you write is only executed. I will discuss it. Like in the local and the global variables, integer a, or I have created some integer or character outside the main function. In the same way, if I create any function outside the main function and do not give the path in the main function, then it will not run, because whatever we write in the main function is only executed. So I will create a function void. I can also create a function with integer, but I am greeting, and this is how you can create any function. So you just need to type void and then the name of the function. This is the name of the function, and this is parenthesis and a curly bracket open and close. If I type greeting in the greeting function, if I type anything like cout, and I will type here hello world, so what do you think when I run this program? So it is not showing anything. It is not displaying any hello world in this, because we have not typed in the main function. If we want to execute any function, then we have to type that function in the main function. So how you can type the function in the main function? You just need to copy this first line, paste it here, or you don't need to type this void here, and in the last you just need to type semicolon. Now when you run it, so you can see here hello world, it is printing. We can also print hello world in the main function. You can see here, if I comment this and when I run it, so you can see here it is also printing the hello world. Then what is the need of this function? This function is, as we have discussed, that this function is needed to do the specific task. When you are doing C++ at a high level, and when you are professional in C++, then you cannot do everything in the main function, because there is a lot of work to do, and if you do only in the main function, then it will be not easy for you. For this we have to create any function. If I need to display this hello world 2 times, then I have to copy this line and paste here. In the same way, you can see here hello world is displaying 2 times. In the same way, if I run this greeting function 2 times, then you can see here hello world is printing 2 times. So this is same as this, but this is used to do the specific task. Like if I have to create any if I have to do the average of 2 number, okay, so I will type here integer a, or I will create with float a b, because with the float value we can calculate the decimal, and I will type cout cout enter to number \n, and I will type now cin to take the input from the user a, and you can do like this again cin b, or you can also do like this. You can takes the input in the same line only. You don't need to type cin again and again. So I have created I have taken input from the user. Now let's see this is running or not. I will type a, and in whatever you whatever you display in the cout, after that you have to put two closing bracket after your integer or any string you type. Sorry, not a string, but anything you type like hello world. I have typed hello world here. So if you type anything, after that you have to do this angular bracket. Now b, and then and l, and l. Now when I run it, it is asking for two integer. I will type 2 and 3. You can see here 2 and 3 are displaying. I have created this because I need a space between two integer, or it will display like 23 only. So now I have to calculate the average. So I will make a new function here, integer, and I will type avg for the average. Now this is how you can create any function. You have to type the parenthesis. Now you have to open the curly bracket. Now hence it is an integer function, so it will return any integer. Like integer main is a function, and it is an integer function, so you are returning any integer in the last. So it is also an integer function, so we should also return anything. What I will return I will return 0. Now I have to calculate the average. So these are the number in the main function. I have taken input from the user in the main function, but I have to pass this number a and b, what I have taken from the user, into this function. So how you can pass any integer or float in any function? So to pass any integer in the function, you have to type integer a, integer b. Sorry, I have created with float, so I will type float b. So this function is ready to take input from the main function. Now you can pass the integer a and b in this function. In this area between the brackets, you can pass your arguments in any function. So now I will calculate the average. So cout the avg average is a plus b by 2. If I type it this manner, then it may do that a plus b by 2. So the compiler may calculate the b by 2 first, b divided by 2 first, and then add a to it. So I have to add this in the brackets. So now it will calculate like a plus b and divide by 2. So now I have made a function. Now you have to run this function. So what do you think if we run this code and pass any integer like 5 and 5? So it is not calculating the average because we have not typed this in the main function. As I have told you earlier, that whatever you write in the main function is only done by the compiler. So I have to type the name of the function, which is greeting, average. Now you are done with it, but this is showing a red mark here because average is a function which takes two float values, which takes the argument and calculate the average. So I have not passed any argument, so I have to pass some argument, and I will pass a and b in this average function. Now when you run it, enter two number and I will type 5 and 5. You can see the average is 5. I will run this again, 2 and 6, so the average is 4. Let me just run it one more time, 2 and 3, the average is 2.5. so it is also calculating in decimal values. Now this is how you can create any integer function. So what is the point of returning any values in it? Is there any point of returning value? If I make this main function like void and don't return anything, as we have discussed earlier, that in the void function you don't need to return anything. So if I create like void main function and do not return anything, does it will work properly? Let's see. Main must return integer function. So here you have to point this, that main is a function which should be a integer function, and hence it is an integer function, so it will return some value. So what is the point of returning 0 in this average function? What is the reason behind it? The reason behind this is that when you see out the function in the main function, what is the main function? This is a main function, and when you see out the average in the main function, like see out, now I am printing the average function return value. When you are printing the average function with whatever you have passed in this, we have passed a and b, so it will calculate the average in the same way. But when you print the full function, like I have passed this function and now I am printing this, so it will print the return value. I will type to integer 2. You can see here 4.5 is coming, and why this 0 is coming? I will type a endl at the end, endl. Now when you run it and type 6 and 3, now you can see here 4.5 is the answer of the average. 6 plus 3 divided by 2 is equal to 4.5. So what is the value here which is printing here? The 0. 0 is the return value of this integer average function. So this is a point of returning some value. So what do you think? You can only create or return the value like 0 only? You have to return any value in the 0 only? No. You can also return these value. What are these value? A plus b by 2, and I have to correct the sentence now. So the average is a plus b by 2, hence it will display the and calculate the answer in the float value or decimal value. So I have to make this float, so it can now return in the float. Now when you run it, and I will type 6 3, so you can see here the average is 4.5. The average is 4.5 because we are displaying this average function. If we do not display this average function like this, if we do not display this average function, now when you pass the integer 6 and 3, so the average is, it is showing nothing, because when you print the full function in the main function, when you print any function in the main function, then it will display the return value. So this is how you can create any function in the C++. I will discuss more about function in the next video, and these are the basics of C++. So I will give you a question that now here's a question for you. You have to take input from the user in the void function, and what other input you have to take. You have to take favorite number, and you have to display that favorite number. Okay, and what else you can take? Favorite number. Now you can favorite character. You just need to type any char, and you have to type any C or whatever you have char created, like char C, char D, and you have to take the input with the help of C++ in the character, and you have to pass this here. This is the first question, and the second question is this is my first question, and the second question is takes the input from the user in the integer function, and this time you have to calculate the percentage. Okay, and if you are calculating percentage, then you can also take the input as float. So these are the two questions. I will discuss the answer of this question in the next video. So thanks for watching this time.